All right, you want to start? You want to introduce yourself, Mary, and then we'll get into our presentation?
Okay, sounds good. Okay, ani bonjour, everyone. Niptinam Kawagan, Indigenous cause, Alderil First Nation in Donjaba, Makwado Dem. So hi, everyone. My name is Mary, and I'm the Indigenous Student Transitions Advisor, and I work out of Indigenous Student Services here at Fleming College.
And Ani Bojo Sego Nagamoe Mainga Nijishnakas. My name is Ashley, and I am the manager of Indigenous Student Services. And Mary and I are going to present a short presentation about what we offer in Indigenous Student Services and opportunities that are available to students who self-identify as First Nations, Métis, and Inuit at Fleming College. So we will get started. So the first slide is who are we? So Indigenous Student Services is a service available to students who self-identify as First Nations status and non-status, Métis and Inuit, and we provide student supports. Supports are geared towards student needs. And so supports can be done on a one-on-one basis, sometimes in small groups as well, based on student need and comfort. But the supports include one-to-one support, advocacy, resources specific to your needs as a student. And so if that need is around housing, we have some community connections where we can support you with housing. We can also support you with just feeling, you might be feeling homesick, and we're here to just hear you out and chat and get you connected. And so some of what we do in terms of programming is peer mentorship, an Indigenous student peer mentorship called Bishkek, and Mary will talk a little bit more about that. But we also do cultural programming. And so the programming is always specific to student need. Again, all of our services and supports are student driven. And so we really rely on student feedback and participation to better understand what students are looking for. Maybe that's specific teachings, connections with elders. That's one of the programs, cultural programs that we offer is connection to elders. And so we often have various elders visiting Indigenous Student Services and meeting with students one-on-one or in groups to provide group teachings. And so those things are also student driven. And so we hear student feedback and we gear those programs to student needs. Yeah, Mary, do you want to talk a little bit more about Bishkek?
I will shortly after. I just wanted to touch on two things before I talk about Bishkek. Oh,
there we go.
Awesome, thank you. So a couple of things to let you guys know about. We're offering, in partnership with Trent University, we're offering an Inspire application webinar. So for those that don't know or aren't familiar with Inspire, Inspire is an organization that helps post-secondary Indigenous students. So they offer scholarships and bursaries to help you while you're going to college or university. So they have multiple application deadlines throughout the year, and one of them is actually coming up. It's on August 1st. So this webinar will really help if you are currently like working on your application right now, or if you want to learn more. It's a really great webinar to kind of get all your questions answered. So that will be happening tomorrow. July 15th. And I did send a link out to your student email last week. So there's information on how to get connected to that webinar in there. You can also find the link on our Facebook page, and our Facebook page is listed at the very end of this presentation. So you'll be able to find it there. So yeah, that's a really great webinar happening again tomorrow. And another great thing that's currently going on, it's really exciting. It's called the Indigenous Student Success Network. So it's a collaboration of various institutions. So it's Fleming College, Durham College, Ontario Tech University, and Trent University. So we're all partnering to help our Indigenous students, our new Indigenous students, transition into our institutions. So one of the ways that we're helping with this transition is offering a webinar series throughout the month of July. So it's called the Sweetgrass series, and it is, all of the series are with local traditional knowledge holders or elders. So it's really great. And again, the Facebook group is there, but I also sent the link on how to register for those series. There's 2 a week. But yeah, there's information in your email that was sent last week. But again, the Facebook group is right there listed. And another way you can kind of get involved with us right now, actually, is we are every Friday, we're offering a virtual medicine walk and question and answer with Joseph Pitawanakwit. So he is the founder of Creator's Garden. So he talks about plant-based medicine, and he is from Wikwemikong, so on Manitoulin Island. So he's very knowledgeable on plant-based medicine. So he does that session every Friday on our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel is listed right there, and is also will be at the very end of the slide. So yeah, another great way to kind of get connected with us and also learn a ton more about the plants in the local area.
I just want to jump in quickly and just really reiterate that it's really important to be checking your student email, because a lot of communication that will be sent out from Indigenous Student Services, which includes resources and opportunities such as things like an Inspire bursary application that can help financially, or culture-based programming and other supports to ensure your success at Fleming. It's really important right now to ensure that you're checking your student email regularly. We can also, at this point already, even start setting up some one-to-one visits with students to be able to better answer your questions as they arise. And so if after today you don't have an opportunity to ask your questions, you can feel free to connect with Mary and be able to, ask those questions at a later date and be really informed about some of the opportunities and programs that are happening that you can already start participating in. So yeah, it's really important to stay connected. Right now, we're trying to do our best to create a community and maintain those connections and build relationships. Traditionally, and most preferably, we would be doing this in person. And until we can do that again, it's really important that you're connecting in on our various forms of social media or within your student email, because all of those opportunities will be available to you there. So I just want to reiterate the importance of that, because there'll be a lot of information and a lot of opportunities and resources that are available to you. And right now, the best way to find out is through social media and through email. So the virtual medicine walks, too, just as an example of some of our ongoing student supports and cultural programming that happens regularly. Typically, Joseph Pitawanakwit would come in to the college on a regular basis and meet with students one-on-one and do guided medicine walks. And so we've been able to move some of those programming to be online and to be able to do those things virtually and remotely. But some exciting things to look forward to once we're back on campus and have an opportunity to meet face-to-face and participate in those, face-to-face programs. We also do have a medicine room at the Sutherland campus, which includes various plant-based medicine, which is often harvested by students at Fleming from Fleming. So we have some really great walking trails, and we're able to harvest plant-based medicine from those trails and utilize that in our medicine room where students are able to access. We also have opportunities where we make various salves, and students often get opportunities to try different plant-based teas. And so, something to just kind of look forward to, and as an example of some of our ongoing regular student supports that are available once we're back on campus again. So I'll go on to the next slide, and Mary will talk a little bit more about Bishkek, which is an Indigenous peer mentorship program.
Yeah, so Bishkek, so it's An Anishinaabe word, it means rise up. So Bishkek, it begins as a summer orientation program for first year Indigenous students to Fleming College. So we try our best for the summer orientation program to create a community of support before you begin at Fleming. And we also try our best to make it culturally centered and personalized to you so that it's, more beneficial. So this year, Bishkek Summer Orientation will be running throughout the month of August. And we're going to be having one session a week. So it will be every Monday. So we'll come together every Monday from 1 to 2, and we'll be running we'll be going through various topics. So again, like Ashley said, it's so important to be checking your student email because you would have been receiving emails from me. So Mary, so now you know who I am, you can see me. So yeah, I would have sent out last week, I sent out a tentative schedule for the month of August. So some of the sessions include, much like this one right now, it's get to know Indigenous student services at Fleming. So Ashley and I will kind of go more in depth about who we are, where we've come from, and how we can best support you as an Indigenous student while you're at Fleming. And another session that we have is with upper year students, so upper year Indigenous students who have also gone through the Bishkek program. So they'll be able to talk to their experience through Bishkek, but also their experience as a Fleming student. So that will be a really great one. And then we also have one with an elder. Her name is Shirley Williams. And with a traditional knowledge holder, her name is Elizabeth Iswamic. They're both from Wikwemikon on Manitoulin Island, but they have both been living in the area for a number of years. So they're both well-known, respected women in the area. So they'll be sharing their teachings with us through one of the sessions also. So another added bonus to attending summer orientation, so all these sessions, sorry, I don't think I mentioned this, but they'll all be online. So each session that you attend, your name will be entered into a draw at the end. So there'll be 5 sessions in total. So the more you attend, the more chances or the higher your chance of winning that draw. So, and more details on the draw prize, what it will be coming later. So yeah, we're all hoping that you attend these sessions because we really want to get to know you. And yeah, so that's Bishkek Summer Orientation. And then it turns into, as Ashley mentioned, it turns into a mentorship program. So your feedback throughout the summer orientation, we'll talk more about what the mentorship program will look like come September. So it really becomes your program, it becomes your mentorship program. So we really rely on your feedback on how you want it to look like because it will be for you. So we really need your feedback on that. So we'll talk more throughout the month of August, throughout those sessions on how we'll continue on for that mentorship program. Yeah, that's Bishkek.
All right, so we'll move on to the last slide here. Stay connected. So again, these are the links to our website, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and our YouTube. There's also contact information here for myself and for Mary. So again, please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you want to connect and participate in the various programs that are available. So if you're interested in Bishkek, reach out. If you have ideas or feedback or something you'd like to see from Indigenous Student Services, please feel free to reach out. Again, we really rely on that feedback because a lot of what we do is student driven. It's here for you, and so we want to ensure that you get the most from it to ensure your success at Fleming. So we'll move on to a question period. If there are questions, I think I see that there might be a question or two already here. And I'll turn my video on now. So now you can see me. And we've got the chat. So question, as a new student, how do I become more involved with the Indigenous Student Services Department? So there's a lot of ways that you can become involved in Indigenous Student Services. Right now, everything is remote. We're not exactly sure when that may change, but as we already said, we're working really hard to ensure we have ongoing community connections and we're able to create a sense of community and build relationships. This is not typically the way that is preferred to do that, but we're trying to come up with different ideas to continue to engage students and ensure that there is a connection piece there. And the Indigenous Student Success Network, really, that's the primary focus and main goal, is to create that the network for new students, but also for returning students as well, and create that peer network that can be so invaluable to your experience at Fleming. Making the choice to come to Fleming is or any post-secondary is a big step, and it comes with a lot of transitions. And so we're here to support you as in any way that we can. And a lot of students do enjoy becoming more involved with Indigenous Student Services. And so when we are on campus, we do have an Indigenous Student Services department, and the department is where our offices are housed. But also there's space for students to, eat your lunch, come and hang out and eat your lunch in this space. Cultural programming, visits with elders. Joe, when he's visiting, does spend time there as well, so students can come in. So it's a bit of a hub and a space for students to meet other students and also participate in programs. We do have various volunteer opportunities. So we have had quite a few students who are wanting to be more involved and choose to volunteer within the department. And volunteering can look different. So it could be for different events. It could be to help with tidying up and cleaning the space. But we welcome you to be as involved as you would like to be. And I mean, the opportunities are really endless in terms of what that looks like. Indigenous Student Services also has 3 awards that we give out at the end of each year to recognize those students who have engaged and participated in Indigenous Student Services and supported and helped in the department. We've had student roles in the past, and so we're not exactly sure what that looks like right now, but typically we do have a few student workers, so that's another way that students can get involved. And when those roles become available or volunteer opportunities are available, we will share that. So again, so important to be checking your email so that you're up to date and you're connected and you're getting all that information. Do you have anything else to add to that, Mary?
Yeah, as a new student, becoming involved with Indigenous Student Services, really, like Ashley mentioned, the Indigenous Student Success Network you can be doing that right now. But come August, participating in the Bishkek sessions for orientation, that's an awesome way to become involved.
Awesome. So we have another question. So what are some pieces of advice for Indigenous students beginning their semester with this new online platform? So again, just so important to be engaged in those platforms. So following our Facebook page or our YouTube page, doing that, proactively ahead of time so that when, different opportunities or events are posted, you're aware of those things, checking your email to stay in the loop is really important right now. There's a lot of really great services and supports available at Fleming College outside of Indigenous student services as well, right? So there's counseling services and accessible education, and there's opportunities to meet with tutors, and there's a variety of supports available. And as Indigenous students, if you're looking for those supports, I mean, Mary can be really your first point of contact, and she has a lot of great connections and relationships built with other staff at Fleming already, so she'll know kind of who to refer you to, and she can initiate that and help and ensure that you are connected to those supports. So I know, again, although doing things remotely and in an online format is new for a lot of people, it's also really new for us. And so really just asking those questions, reaching out. You never know what's out there, right, until you ask. So and that's what we're here for. We're here for students and to support students. And so yeah, please reach out. And doing sessions like this and some of the other Welcome Day sessions that are available today are really, really helpful to inform you of what is available to you as Fleming students.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just had like general pieces of advice for beginning your studies online is just like creating, and I'm sure like you've heard this through other sessions, but just creating a space in your home, like even if you just have like you're in an apartment and you just have a bedroom, like even a corner of your bedroom, just creating like a study space. So yeah, that's really important so that you're not just studying off of your bed, which is really comfy, but creating a study space and yeah, taking time off from like it's a lot of screen time. So yeah, taking time or breaks away from that and connecting with people. So like we will be offering opportunities like weekly drop-in sessions. So like please come out to those because it turns out to be more of like just like a visiting session, which is really that whole visiting like piece is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially through this new online life that we're navigating.
Yeah, I completely agree. Creating a schedule for yourself too, if you can.
Yeah.
That doesn't only include time for studying and classes, but also time for you. And so, whatever that looks like for you, some type of self-care activity, maybe that is coming to one of our, online programming that's being offered, or a drop-in session, or maybe that's taking some time to read a book that you enjoy or go for a walk. I think it's really important to try to schedule your time and also schedule in some fun time there
Yeah.
too. Yeah. And in terms of some of the other services that I'd mentioned previously that are available to students, we do oftentimes bring in a learning strategist from Accessible Education Services, and we bring them into some of our drop-in sessions. So Indigenous students have a space where they maybe feel more comfortable, with Mary, being there as well, and introducing that other staff to provide information about what services they offer and what's available for you to access. So it's a really good starting point too to learn more about what's available, and then also get connected that way. A lot of students, I think, find that to be really helpful and a little less, less intimidating, or yeah, a little bit more casual, I guess, in terms of understanding what's available to you.
Yeah. Perfect.
Are there any other questions? I think we have about 6 more minutes until our session wraps up. I'm not seeing any other questions. Do you have anything else to add, Mary? I think we covered everything.
I think we did. Yeah. I think we did.
And like Mary said, like some of the orientation sessions will include a little bit more information, or we'll be able to go in depth on, some of the programs or services that are available. And hopefully some of that will be informed from feedback we receive from those of you even maybe attending today who have some ideas that you'd like to share with us. Even if you want to just send an email to introduce yourself, we also would love that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, please check your emails. Please read your emails.
Yes,
And,
so important right now to be connected.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but thanks everyone for coming out.
Yes, miigwech. Oh, I think we have one more question. I'm interested in the Indigenous Perspectives designation. How do I learn more about that? So the Indigenous Perspectives designation is linked to the academic side of studies. And so various programs are eligible to receive that designation. And typically it includes a few requirements. And so I can't speak too much to that piece, as it can be a little bit different for each program depending on what area you're studying in. So that would be more specific to your school of study. And so I would recommend reaching out to the chairperson. Elizabeth Stone is the Indigenous Perspectives Chair, and she would be able to point you in the right direction or better answer that question. To determine, what program is eligible and what the requirements would be.
Maybe your program coordinator too.
Yeah, your program coordinator would know that information as well. Yeah.
Okay. Last call on questions. We got 4 more minutes.
Yeah, I think we've got 4 more minutes.
Okay. Oh. Did you hear her?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That's my dog, everybody.
Nope, no new questions. I thought I saw something pop up there. There's some other sessions being offered today as well. I think some have already have happened already this morning, but there is a social connections session drop-in room that's available following this. I think there already may be available, and Mary will also be joining them in that room as well to be able to answer any additional questions specific to Indigenous Student Services. So I recommend checking out that session. It's called Social Connections. If you're looking for the link, I believe that was emailed to you as well. But it's available from now until 12:30, and various staff and various departments will be available to answer questions. And again, Mary will be there too, so you'll be able to see her over there if you decide to join in. All right, I think we are at the end of our session. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And thanks for asking those questions. We're looking forward to being able to get to know you and eventually meet you in person.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. Much.
Pamapi.